Welcome back, everyone. My name is Echo, and I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back on Pixel Gun 3D, but today's video, it's not about the gameplay, it's not a weapon review, it's not a super chest video. Today's video, I'm here to keep you all updated with the latest news from the Pixel Gun 3D developers. Recently, in the YouTube comments, I've received a lot of questions from you guys saying, hey Echo, we've got the new campaign world, what's next? Are we going to be getting new weapons, new maps, new changes? Can you let us all know? So I try and make these videos every 6 to 8 weeks because I think it's really important for all game development companies, especially in 2018 and 2019, to keep all their community updated. You see a lot on Fortnite, you see a lot on PUBG, they keep their community updated because we want to know what's going on. We want to know what the future of this game holds. So I thought, okay, it's about time I started asking a couple of questions, and that's what today's video is all about. I've asked a couple of questions that are quite important regarding the future of Pixel Gun 3D. Before we get into those questions, though, I want to mention one thing. I've received a lot of comments from you guys saying, Echo, where is the Amazon update? Where is the new campaign world for the Amazon players? So I asked this question towards the developers, and they told me that they sent the update to the Amazon store 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago. It just means that the Amazon store are yet to review their game to then update it on the store. So this is not down to the Pixel Gun developers. It's kind of out of their hands. As soon as they send their version to the iOS store, the Android store, and the Amazon store, it's then down to those stores to review the game and then release it. Usually, we get updates on Android first, then iOS, then Amazon. That's because Android games get reviewed a lot faster compared to the iOS games, with the exception of 16.00, because they release those games, those versions side by side. And I think they should do that as well with all updates. They should release Android and iOS side by side, because I think it's nothing more annoying than having to wait. The Minecraft team did it. They released the iOS and the Android version side by side. In fact, they released iOS, Android, Windows 10, Xbox, and Switch side by side. Anyway, forget about that. Let's get into the questions. Because I started off with this one saying, been a while since we spoke. Curious how the updates are coming along, with a smiley face. Now, it did take a little bit of time for the developers to respond, but the response I got was, hi man, we are totally busy with the server. I hope we will release it on the 18th for Android. And I was like, what's this, the new architecture? And he was like, yep. So next week, there is a high possibility. It's a possibility, doesn't mean it's 100% going to happen. There is a possibility next week, I think it's Monday, we could see the release of the new architecture. And I know you guys are going to be like, what's the new architecture, Echo? What does it mean? Well, basically, the architecture is new coding. The Pixel Gun developers are recoding Pixel Gun 3D from the ground up. Why? Well, they want to get rid of all the hack stuff, the hacked weapons, the hacked gems. This should hopefully bring the ecosystem of Pixel Gun 3D down, prices of gems, of weapons, of coins, and stuff like that. Because there's a very big imbalance of hacked gems in Pixel Gun 3D. You probably noticed that in the 1v1 duels, you no longer duels for gems or coins. It's all with keys, because everyone was just using hacked gems. That's all people were doing. So they got rid of that. Hopefully, the new architecture will do a lot more than just get rid of the hacked gems and stuff. But it's good. It means that the Pixel Gun developers can control their game a lot more. They can control their servers. They can control hacks, cheats, mob menus, anything that really isn't in terms of service with their game. So that's also a good thing, along with anyone who's had any desyncing issues, you can't sync your game, that will also be fixed. But they've also announced something really, really cool. So I was like, oh wow, you guys have been busy. So what does this mean when you release it? What's going to happen with the question mark? The response I got was, yes, very hard year. You will be able to move your account from one device to another with all your progress. Then it says, and you will not be able to play on one account from 2 devices at a moment. So guys who shared their account will be upset. So let's start off with the top thing. Very, very, very good news. You will be able to move your accounts from one device to another We all know as Pixelgun players, there has been a massive problem with the whole desyncing issue. It happened to me. I used to play on an iPad Air 2. I then upgraded to an iPad Pro. I lost all my progress on kills, my stats, game wins, etc. I lost my clan. I lost a bunch of gems. That won't be a problem anymore. So for example, if you're using an iPhone 7 and then you want to switch to an iPad, you can do it without any problem at all. All your progress, all your stats, all your weapons, all your gems, keys, everything will transfer. Finally, that's going to be a really, really good positive. And I believe you'll also be able to transfer your account from iOS to Android as well, which is going to be really useful for me because if updates release on Android, I can transfer my iOS account to my Android device, my Samsung Galaxy Tab S4, review the update, and then send it back to iOS, which I think is really cool. Focusing on the other thing though, this is mainly for the iCloud players or the people who have cloud shared accounts because they've been like, oh, I'm not going to get banned. I didn't do the cheats. I just shared my account. For the people who shared their accounts, you might not necessarily get banned, but you're going to be in trouble because you're not going to be able to play at the same time as the person who owns that iCloud account. So let's explain this to you a little bit more. One account that has everything. He shared everything with 5 people. 5 people now have everything, but it's kind of under the same account. So when that person who owns the account is playing, the other 5 people are not going to be able to play on their account because it's going to be classed as that other person's account. Basically, you're going to have to start again because it's going to be classed as the owner's account, not your account. That's the best way to explain it. They literally are getting rid of as much as possible. They literally said, so anyone who shared their account is going to be upset. Then my response was, does this mean hacked gems and coins will no longer be a thing? The response was, yep. So we will be able to ban anybody's account, and after that, the guy must start the game from the beginning. Yes, hacked gems and coins will no longer be a thing. And they are really, like, throwing that out there. They're saying that this is not going to be a thing. It's going to change completely because everything now is kind of like client side. It's going to be server side. The developers control everything. They see everything. It's going to be a lot different compared to what it used to be like. So if you have hacked accounts or gems or coins, I would start again right now. Get the advantage, get ahead, and just progress slowly. It might be painful at the start, but it'll definitely be worth it in the long run. And then I've got a long list here that says, that's great news. I bet you're excited to release. So this means anyone who cloud share accounts for free weapons, etc. will basically have to start again. You must understand that this change will not improve gameplay. Honestly, gameplay becomes a little worse. So this means anyone who cloud share accounts for free, etc. will have to start again. He quoted me saying, yeah, anyone who did cloud share will have to start again. I know these changes are server side, not really player related. It's more for you as the company kind of update. And they were like, yes, for players, we are now working on big changes. So this update that's going to be possibly coming next week. Again, it's a possibility. It doesn't necessarily, it's going to happen. One bug could break in. It could put it back like 2 or 3 weeks. It's just a possibility that it could release next week. But this update really isn't for us. It kind of is, but it's more for the developers to then give them control to then they can go forward and start releasing some things. But the last thing that they did say was, for players, we are now working on big changes. What those changes are, I really don't know. But hopefully it's going to be something exciting. Maybe you guys can leave some suggestions of what you think you would like to see for Pixelgun 3D developers. They have kind of hinted at the possibility of custom weapon skins. As you all know, we have skins and new weapons. Usually we get reskinned weapons. There's a possibility of introducing new weapon skins, which I think would be really fun, like camouflages and stuff. I'd rather purchase cosmetics because it's kind of fair play if you just purchase the cosmetics. But that's what I wanted to mention to you guys was this. And then the last thing was this one, what I said. So hacked gem/coins accounts. You can see who's done it in the past and will you ban those accounts or just clean them? And the response was, in most cases, yes, we can see. And yes, we will ban them. My response was, okay. So I was questioning, are they just going to give people a chance? Basically wipe their account. They can keep their level, but they're going to lose their weapons. So they'd have to purchase them again. They're like, nah, we're just going to wipe the accounts clean, get rid of them, and then they're going to have to start again. They just don't want any illegitimate accounts, fake accounts. controlling their game. They want people to start again and be fresh. And I know for a lot of people, they're going to be angry, they're going to be upset, but I think in the long run, it'll be much better for Pixel Gun 3D, and it'll probably be much better for us as a community. For everybody who plays legit, we are being punished because of their hacked gems and coins. That's how it is. Why are weapons so expensive for the legitimate players? It's because of the hacked gems and coins. Hopefully, this will bring down the ecosystem. If it doesn't, then the Pixel Gun developers have got a lot of questions to answer, you know? We understand that they are a company. They need to make money. If they don't make money, then there's no server and there's no game. But they also have to understand that there is a lot of legit players who have never cheated, never hacked. They just want a little bit of leeway with prices, which I think is fair. You gotta keep everybody happy, but we'll see what happens. The possibility of this release is next week for Android first. Kind of like a testing thing, I guess. But Android users, keep an eye out for next week. It might take longer. That's what they're hoping. That's their plans. But as you all know, not everything goes to plan all the time. But guys, if you did enjoy today's video, drop a like, take care, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.